Have you ever paused to watch a single leaf fall? Not rushed, not ignored, just observed. It twirls with no urgency, carried by wind and weight and something invisible. Isn't that a bit like us? Maybe, just maybe, there's a sacred metaphor hidden in that descent. God doesn't always speak through thunder. Sometimes he whispers through falling leaves. We tend to think value lies in rising, in climbing, building, achieving. But the leaf's purpose isn't ruined by its fall. It nourishes the earth, completes a cycle. Could your falling be part of something divine too? Jesus said, "Consider the lilies." But what if he also meant the leaves? What if his hand is just as present in the decaying as in the blooming? A leaf doesn't resist the fall. It lets go when the time is right. How many of us hold on, afraid of change, terrified of being forgotten when we're no longer green? But even in surrender, God is present. What feels like an end may simply be your sacred return to the soil of his purpose. There's beauty in the gentle descent, not chaos, not violence. God teaches us through the way nature yields. Are you trying so hard to hold on that you're missing the piece of release? We think that to fall is to fail. But Christ himself fell onto his knees in the garden, onto the ground beneath the cross. And from that falling came resurrection. Do you see now? Falling doesn't mean the story is over. The ground welcomes the leaf. It does not reject it. Just as the Father welcomes us when we return broken, exhausted, surrendered. Even the dirt has a role in God's embrace. How often have you seen something falling and rushed to catch it, as if stopping the fall would preserve its worth? But some things must fall. Some hearts must break open before God fills them. Have you ever thanked him for the falling? In every forest, the ground is sacred, not because it's grand, but because it holds everything that fell. The fallen aren't failures. They're part of the story, your story, his story. Maybe this is the truth. God uses the falling to teach us flight. For only when we fall can we be caught. Only when we let go can we be lifted. Look again at the tree. Though it loses its leaves, it is not afraid. It stands rooted in trust, in seasons, in cycles, in the Creator who made them both. Can you say the same of your soul when life asks you to let go? Jesus said, "I am the vine, you are the branches." So if we're branches, we will lose leaves too. But we're not lost, we're held by the source. A leaf doesn't cling in bitterness. It lets go with grace. When your plans fall apart, can you release them like a leaf and trust God will catch what matters? We often say, "I'm falling apart." But maybe like a leaf, you're just returning to something older, deeper, a truth rooted in God. Maybe you're not falling apart, but falling into him. A forest floor is made of fallen things, and yet it gives life to all that grows above. God wastes nothing. Whatever you've lost, he can turn it into soil for something new. Even in decay, there is purpose. Even in endings, there are beginnings. Why? Because God isn't finished with what's fallen, not with the leaves, not with you. Sometimes, the quietest moments reveal the loudest truths, and God speaks. Not always in miracles, but in the soft landing of a leaf, reminding us we are seen. When you feel forgotten, like something discarded by the wind, remember this: God sees even the sparrow fall. How much more does he notice your silent tears? The leaf does not fear winter. It knows it has served its purpose. It knows spring is coming, and so must you. If God designed the leaf, its veins, its purpose, its path, then how much more has he designed yours? You were never meant to stay on the branch forever. You were meant to become something eternal. We count seasons by their weather, but God counts them by the soft changes of your soul. Perhaps this is not the season of growth, but the season of release. And maybe release is holy too. Have you ever asked, God, where are you in my letting go? And maybe he whispers back, I am the wind beneath your falling. I am the ground that catches you. You have never left his hands. Even Jesus let go of heaven, of power, of breath, so we would never fall alone. He entered the gravity of our brokenness to raise us up again. Your descent is not defeat. It may be your doorway to resurrection. The leaf falls, but the tree remains. Likewise, your identity isn't what you've lost. It's rooted in the one who never changes, even when everything else does. If you're in a season where things are falling away, don't panic, don't mourn too quickly. God is pruning you. So when spring comes, you can truly bloom. And isn't it just like God to use what looks like death to plant the seeds of life, to turn endings into beginnings, falls into foundations? What you thought was the end may just be the start of becoming who you really are. The leaf didn't fall to vanish. It fell to feed what comes next. So when things fall away in your life, people, plans, pride, don't just grieve. Ask, what is God planting beneath this loss? You are not forgotten in your falling. He who sees every leaf also sees you, and in his eyes, even the descent is precious. So fall if you must, but fall knowing you are falling into grace, into purpose, into the arms of the one who never lets go, because even the falling leaf is part of the divine design.